All right, vintage vinyl.
What's in my bag? Vintage vinyl closure edition. So we've been taking quite a hit with Record Store Day and binge buying at Revelio last week, and then we heard sadly that one of the greatest record stores in the history of New Jersey is closing, Vintage Vinyl. So rush down there today, 30% off. Vinyl fans, go down to Vintage Vinyl one more time. Found some great picks. Store was packed, and people buying what's left. Sad, really. I've seen a lot of record stores close in my day. Vintage Vinyl, one of the better stores of my lifetime. 42 years in the business. Before we left, found this. Grateful Dead live in France in 1971. Interesting story behind this record. They flew to France to play a festival. The festival was rained out. They wound up staying in this chateau where Elton John recorded Fleetwood Mac, Gong, Iggy Pop, and just basically hung out and started playing for the townsfolk. That included the fire chief, the mayor of this town, and everyone had a kind of a great drunken time, it appears, and really cool, release on vinyl. 1971, only one drummer. Mickey left the band by then. Ian Hunter and the Rant Band. I'm a big Ian Hunter fan, and many people stopped buying his records many years ago, but I gotta tell you, if you like Mott the Hoople and if you're an Ian Hunter fan, he has put out some really solid efforts over the last decade of so with the Rant Band. We got a chance to see him a couple years ago at Stone Pony. He was great, so I would definitely recommend Ian Hunter and the Rant Band. Can, one of my favorites. I don't have this. 30% off everything at Vintage Vinyl. This was $19. Came to like $14. It was great. This is their 6th release. A little bit more of a different sound by that time for Can, but still great. Saw this as I was leaving as well. Dan Tyminski of Union Station, the voice of George Clooney in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Fantastic guitarist and vocalist, bluegrass style. This was apparently a promo thing, and it was $6, so sealed. Great deal. Tut Taylor, Friar Tut. That's so cool. I love Tut Taylor. Big Rounder Records fan. Tut Taylor on Rounder Records with this album Sam Bush plays on, Norman Blake, and he put out some really great stuff in the 70s with the other Rounder guys. Fantastic dobro player, Tut Taylor. Robert Jr. Lockwood. This album, when I saw it in the stacks there, I almost fell over. I don't have this album, and I'm a huge blues fan. Robert Jr. is because he was the stepson of Robert Johnson. So guitar legend, Robert Jr. Lockwood, awesome. Played with Johnny Shines, Elmore James, in the Mississippi Delta for a long time, Sonny Boy Williamson. This is a real gem. I was really super surprised to find that. And Hawkwind, Psychedelic Rangers, themselves led by Dave Brock. Big Hawkwind space rock fan. This is one of their more obscure releases from the early 90s. It was not on vinyl for many years. Surprised actually to see it there. I have most of their stuff, do not have this Electric Teepee. So that's a nice one for a Saturday night. Became a big Peter Green fan. Revisited actually Peter Green after his death, and some of these releases have been fabulous. Those of you who former Fleetwood Mac's first guitarist, but his solo stuff is great too. That early Fleetwood Mac stuff is killer. The stuff he did with the Splinter Group, really good. This is an early 80s release, really before he dropped off the scene. He was homeless for a while. Great documentary, I think, on Netflix about him. And the last, I just couldn't resist this, being a new wave of British heavy metal fan, but these are the German counterparts, Accept and Udo. We got a chance to see
Vinny.
At the Stone Pony with Mark. It was with Mark.
But Vinny always laughs about Udo.
Yeah, and so I've always been a big Accept fan since I was a kid, and I saw this at the last minute. It was limited edition, I think, to 800. Live in Bulgaria, 2020, pandemic survival show. I think Udo needs to pay some bills. So put this record out, and God bless the metal heart of Udo. And I look forward to certainly listening
Where'd the rest
to that.
of the records go?
And that's what's in my bag, vintage vinyl.
All right, now go get my
edition.
bag, and I want to hear your take on my bag.
You gotta pause it.